1969, I was fired for being pregnant. I went on to get a job at Cosmopolitan magazine, where I promoted abortion as the royal road to women's freedom. Now I have written this book, Subverted, to say I was wrong. I was wrong about abortion. Women are most empowered and most free when we are interconnected in love with others. Your branch of the women's movement, Pro-Life Family Feminism, gave women the right to vote. Your branch of the women's movement, Pro-Life Family Feminism, launched second-wave feminism in the 1960s. And your branch of the feminist movement, Pro-Life Family Feminism, is still here today, marching in the streets, hundreds of thousands strong, defending the bond of love between a mother and her baby. You, not Planned Parenthood, not NARAL Pro-Choice America, represent the authentic women's movement of the 21st century. Wake up, Washington Post. Wake up, USA Today. We need to stop pitting the rights of a mother against the rights of her baby. Whatever harms the baby harms the mother. Whatever harms the mother harms the baby. And whatever harms either of them harms us all. We are the new feminists of the 21st century. Wake up, media. We have all the power. We are not afraid, and we are not going away.
Thank you so much, Sue Ellen. An important part of our pro-life work has to do with support for women who've chosen abortion. For more than a decade, the Silent No More awareness campaign has brought a message of hope and healing to thousands of such women. I am so grateful for the courageous witness of our next speaker, and I ask that you join me in welcoming Jules Green to the stage to share her story of hope and healing.
Thank you so much. It is so wonderful and overwhelming to see so many people gathered together for life. Because when I was a pregnant teenager, there was no one. I knew no one who was pro-life. As a pregnant teenager, I already thought of myself as a new mother. But no one supported my choice to parent. I knew no one who agreed with me, no one who advocated for life. I was alone. So I surrendered. I surrendered to the pressure from the culture, from family, from friends, to abort my first child. And then I surrendered to the deep depression that immediately followed that horrible, regretful decision. Within a few weeks of my abortion, I attempted suicide. I spent a month in a psychiatric unit to recover. And then I surrendered again to the world around me, to a culture telling me that abortion was okay and that I should be okay. Just get over it. And then I got a job at an abortion facility. And it was there at that abortion clinic for years. I kept trying to believe what everyone around me was insisting, that abortion was no big deal. A simple medical procedure, a choice. But I knew I missed my baby. And I saw the women at that abortion clinic crying in the waiting room, crying in the procedure room, crying in the recovery room, day after day, year after year. But it wasn't until many years later, after leaving the abortion industry, that I was finally able to face the brutal truth that abortion is wrong. Abortion is always wrong. Abortion always extinguishes the light of life of a unique, irreplaceable, and unrepeatable member of our human family. And it was accepting this truth that finally led me to spiritual conversion, forgiveness, and healing. So once I became pro-life, I knew I could not stay silent. So thank you all for being here and for your dedication and for believing in welcoming us who have been converted, welcoming regretful and repentant mothers and fathers, mothers who mourn, and people like me who've left the abortion industry and the culture of death, because I'm finished surrendering to a world that treats children as disposable. I am finished surrendering my voice. And you can hear others who also refuse to remain silent at the steps of the Supreme Court, where you will hear the testimonies of many women and men and families who mourn. I'm Jules Green, and I am silent no more.
Thank you, Jules, for your powerful witness. As the center for the Baltimore Ravens from 2009 to 2013, Matt Burke was part of the team that won Super Bowl 47. Since retiring from the Ravens, Matt has served as the Director of Football Development for the National Football League. Matt is a courageous and inspiring advocate for life. He's a Super Bowl champ, and he's a pro-life champ. Please join me in welcoming Matt Burke.
Anybody cold? Me neither. I just want to say, from up here, you guys all look great. Every single one of you. You know, last couple of weeks, I started to tell people that I was coming down here to DC, and they asked me why. I said I'm going to the March for Life, and they say, well, why are you going there? Why are you marching? I said, you mean in addition to the things that we've seen the last few months, all the videos we've seen? You want to know why we march? So let me tell you why we march. I'm a football player, so I like to keep things real simple. We march because I've never heard a woman give birth to a baby and then say, I wish I'd had an abortion. That's why we march. Because I've never heard somebody say, I wish I'd had fewer kids. That's why we march. Because I've never heard of a worker at a life clinic decide to leave and go work at an abortion clinic. That's why we march. Because if Black lives matter, lives in the womb matter. That's why we march. Because if you've ever seen a baby being born, even though it happens millions of times a day, it's still a miracle. It's pure joy. If you've ever experienced adoption, which my family and I recently did, it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. It's an act of sacrifice by the birth mother to know that she can't give the child what he or she needs, and so she does the selfless act of giving the baby up for adoption. That is love. In this world where we have dictators and communism and nuclear weapons and hunger and disease, don't we need more miracles? Don't we need more joy? Don't we need more love? That's why we march. And for the millions of women, the abortion survivors out there who are the real heroes of this movement, who have the courage to come forward and say that they made a mistake and they want to help prevent that for other women, and their pain is still real, it's still there. I want them to know, we want them to know that we love them and we appreciate them. That's why we march. And at the end of the day, there's only two choices. You're either pro-life or you're pro-abortion. And we are unapologetically pro-life. That's why we march. God bless us all. He already has.